Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the Iron Diaper, your regular Gundam news show. And when I make one of these, it always means one thing. There's been some new announcements and some worth mentioning. Anyway, what we just had is the Bandai Hobby site Hobby New Item Info, and this is for January to March of next year. We do have an announcement of a Master Grade kit, which is extremely exciting. There's no point in beating around the bush. Well, let's get right on into it. As usual, this channel right here is sponsored by those awesome people over at Hobby Link Japan. The pre-orders are up right now. I'll throw a link in the description, they're right there. Early bird gets the worm, so don't wait too long. Anyway, let's check out what we got. So everything I'll be talking about today is right from here, the Bandai Hobby site itself. So I will throw a link as well to this, so you can check everything out yourself. All the stuff that's been announced goes from Gunpla all the way through some Super Robot, Wars, Macross, we've got some Kamen Rider, 30-minute missions, but the biggest thing, as usual for us, is the Gunpla, so let's get right into that. And this right here is the spread. For the most part, it's a lot of not so interesting things. They're just kind of small and bitty, but what is super interesting is that right there. Master Grade Gundam Vidar. So it was looking a little bit like Master Grade was dead and gone, and well, not really. It was just kind of a little bit on life support for a while, but it looks like it's coming back, and coming back the way we want. The Master Grade Gundam Barbatos is an absolutely fantastic kit, and the frame inside of it is the same frame for every Gundam, so we've always wondered why Bandai is not building on top of it. But now they are, and this looks absolutely phenomenal. First off, I will mention, like it says up there in the Japanese, that this is a CG image, so not what the finished kit will look like, but it should look fairly similar. This looks very nice. We've been waiting for a long time for another Master Grade, and I'm really happy it is the Vidar. I didn't see all the messages from you guys this morning, so I'm guessing you're just as excited as I am. Blasting through the images we have up, there's the back view, everything looking nice and detailed the way Vidar should be. It looks like we got a little bit of a nice pink clear part in the back. According to this right here, the Gundam frame has been updated, so some parts have been changed in the shoulder, where it connects into the arm, hopefully maybe a little bit in the feet. This kit does have very different feet, so it may not have the issues the Master Grade Barbatos had. Anyway, looking so cool. Some more images of what we've got, the hunter edges in the feet, those blades that stick out just like so. Seems like we've got some moving parts with the vernier under the knee, so it won't get in the way of those bends. Some information about the handguns right here. We do have a moving slide on the back, so these aren't going to be as basic as what we saw in the high grade and the 1100. Some information about the rifle, nice looking clear part in the sight there, and we do have a removable magazine, which is always a nice little touch. That's pretty cool. As for the boost sabers, it looks like we've got exactly what we would have seen before. We've got a nice sliding mechanism here, which may be somewhat similar to what we would have seen in the robot Damashi, the metal robot Damashi, which makes me wonder if that might be a little bit of a roadmap for what we'll be seeing from the Master Grades. We've got Barbatos, we've got the Vidar. Will we be seeing a bale or a ball, I can't remember how to pronounce it, in Gundam, but will we be seeing one of those soon as well? I hope so. But yeah, that right there is the final image about it, and as for how much you're going to be paying for this, that is 6,600 yen out in March of next year. And as for that price, so you're looking at about $45, which is really good for a Master Grade. On to what we've got next in here, and that is the high-grade Psycho Gundam Mark II, something we knew was coming out. We've already seen the prototype for this at one of the recent events in Japan. This is looking pretty cool. We've seen the arms already as well with the Typhoeus Gundam Chimera, so this was always on the cards. Once again, this is a CG image. There is a bit of an image from the back, so if we do have the color separation we're seeing right here, this will look very nice. It comes in at 270 millimeters tall, so that must be around 11 inches, I would say. There is a high-grade Zeta Gundam for comparison. This does have the transformation to mobile fortress mode, and this looks like it will be a nice seamless transformation by the looks of things. Probably a lot nicer than we have with the standard Psycho Gundam. The head can slide down into the body, and that big part can attach up top. Even though this is one of the weirdest transformations around, it looks like it'll be pretty cool. Another bit of info here on the part separation. So no stickers on the front or the sides of this skirting armor. So that is all layered parts, which looks phenomenal. From what I'm seeing here, it looks like you will get these stands included for the arms, the funnels, all of those bits. It seems like we've got an alternate head part for those damaged effects down there in the corner. That is very nice. Actually, if they renew the master grade Sinaju. They really should. They should include a head like this. There's the full spread of all the accessories that's inside the box, so there is a lot in here. So this is a big high grade with a full action base and a whole bunch of alternate stuff. Finally, there is the kind of image to give you a bit of a feeling about the feeling of this particular mobile suit, and so far looking really cool. So once again, this will be out in March of next year at 11,000 yen, which is around $75 or euro. So a little bit on the pricey side, but it is big and has a lot. Moving through the Gundam list, and next up we've got the high-grade Zagok from Seed Freedom. So there we go. It's a Zagok, but it is from Seed Freedom. It looks very cool. It's nice. It's a Zagok. And well, whether you've seen Seed Freedom or not by now, you probably know about this mobile suit secret. There it is from the back. That's nothing to do with the secret. And that right there is its secret. So there is a Justice Gundam inside of this. Now, I 100% assume the Infinite Justice is not actually inside of this, that it is sold separately and you can pop it inside of it if you want to. But overall, that is a cool effect. It is nice, and that does explain that unicorn horn up top. Apparently, this is a Zagok with the Seed Action System, which so far has meant these kits have great articulation. Once again, we do have some damaged parts in here. Oh, this is something I really can get behind. If Bandai keeps this up, I will be really happy. That is a cool effect. More of this, please. We do have some alternate parts in here. By the looks of things here, you do actually get a full claw in red, as well as a full claw with these standard kind of blades, which is good so you don't have to disassemble and reassemble. There is the full spread of everything in here, and again, this is very nice. The damaged parts especially being a simple but awesome addition. And there's that image to give you the feel for that Zagok. Again, pretty cool. As for this kit right here, this one is out in February of 2025 at 3,520 yen, which comes in at about $24 or 21 euro. So from here on out, things get a little less exciting. First up is the entry grade Strike Rouge. There honestly really isn't a lot to say here. It's just the entry grade Strike that we know, and it's just Rouge. That is about it. It's in the pink colors, which are absolutely awesome. But otherwise it seems like it's exactly what we would have seen before. The articulation's the same. It does say you can use it with some kind of thingamajigger there, but I've seen that somewhere further down the line. There is said thingamajigger. Apparently this is from the option set Gunpla 15, and this will cost 880 yen, so very cheap, out in January. That's about $6. So the next couple things I'm going to blast through, because personally I'm not a big fan of SDW Heroes kits, so they don't get me that excited, so here we go. This right here, first up, is the SDW Heroes Captain Quanta. A lot of clear parts, one hell of a railgun up on its shoulder, and every time I see one of these designs, I just wish it was in regular, high-grade proportions instead. But anyway, if you do collect SDW kits, this is 1,540 yen, and this is out in March, which is about $10. Next up is another SDW kit. They all seem to be, well, Gundam 00 base. This one looks like it's got a little bit of a mobile armor thing strapped onto the back or something similar. Anyway, this right here is the GF Gundam Astrea Type B. Again, same price as before, out in March. Next up, it's another Gundam Astrea. This one is Type F. Again, it looks like it's some parts of some kind of mobile armor, probably like the GN arms. Again, same price, out in March, and quite cute. So next up, we've got a couple of sets. As far as I can tell, these are kits that did come out before. BB Senshi kits that would have came out a few years ago, just now in a pack together. These are from Stardust Memory. It's a set at 4,510 yen, out in January. So that is about $31 to pick up some kits you may have missed in the past. Once again, this is a set pretty much like we would have seen before. This is out in February, and this is a Gundam Zeon set. So you get yourself a bunch of little guys. These are the little guys in question, so some Zakus, a Hygog, a Zagok. Seriously, my aquatic Zeon mobile suit knowledge is a little bit lacking. None of those are a Hygog. No, let me try. Guy, if I'm not mistaken on that one. That one's kind of like Zagok, but it's like Zagoog or something like that. And that one I can't remember at all. That one there. Seriously lacking. But yeah, once again, 3,520 yen, which is just over $24. And again, out in February. Next up, and this is a little bit on the exciting side, at least I find it is. This right here is the option set Gunpla 14, and this is the Gun Barrel Striker. I don't think we've ever seen the Gun Barrel Striker for Gunpla at all, have we? Especially not high grade or entry grade sized. this is pretty cool. So if you've ever wanted yourself a nice, bright striker pack, covered in missiles, a Gatling gun, and a lot of verniers, this is the one you want. The gun barrel sections right here open up. Apparently we've got clear sections in the canopy. We've got optional joints in here, so that's the singular striker pack joint, as well as the two-prong standard joint, so you can use this on all of your entry grade and high grade Gunpla. Of course, they suggest the entry grade Strike Gundam, and this will cost 1,320 yen, and it's out in January. That's about $9. Next up in here, we've got option set 15, which is the Cavalier Ifrido. So that is that big old thing that is attached onto the Zagok, kind of giving it a little bit of a Forbidden Gundam kind of feel, which is pretty cool. So there is what comes inside of the pack. So we've got ourselves a bit of a rifle, that big old section, armored part for on the Zagok, as well as some backpack adapter sections and a stand. Once again, this can be one peg or two pegs, so you can attach this big old rig onto pretty much whatever you want. We also have this kind of peg section down the bottom left, which is for using with the Zagok. We've got some opening sections with some missiles. It doesn't say much about these being color accurate. There's a little bit of an example of it being used with the Strike Rouge, so it can attach in underneath. Apparently the wings move. That backpack section right there, that's the X-Wing-esque backpack section of the Infinite Justice Spec 2 or whatever it was called. So it seems like, can that attach up on top or underneath? It looks like it's up on top. We also have a backpack adapter for using regular striker packs on your Zagok. We've got a railgun as well as attachment parts. And there's an Action Base 7 included in the option set. So once again, this one right here is out in February at 2,970 yen. Quite pricey for an option set. So that is about $20. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the Gunpla, which is the meat that I wanted to get into. So besides that, let's just go pretty quickly through what else has been announced. So there has been a figurized standard announced. That is Puru 2 from Gundam Double Zeta. There's a from the front, from the back. We have option parts for the head, so a headset or a helmet. And there's the spread of absolutely everything that comes inside of the box. This costs 4,180 yen and will be out in February. That is about $29. So from here on out, I'm just going to be blasting through things even faster. So we have a bunch of things from Wataru. That, of course, is Machine Hero Wataru, and these are just the various robots from it. I don't know a whole lot about it. Looks like they'll cost around 1,650 yen. This is out in December. This guy's 1,925 yen, out in March. But yeah, they're coming out. We've got one high-grade Super Robot Wars announcement. That is the high-grade Vice Ritter. There's the only image of it, so it is blacked out. I'm assuming because it's Vice Ritter, it won't be black, it'll be white. And that is $34 on March. Next up then, we've got the high-grade Choryujin, apparently, from Gaokaigar. I've never seen any Gaokaigar at all, but I know there is a real grade, so this should match in perfectly with that. It seems like it's made out of two cranes, which in turn can turn into a red and a blue robot, which combine together into one bigger robot. I'm getting more interested by the second. This thing looks ridiculously cool. Honestly, I'm seriously interested now. This is 6,600 yen out in January, which is about $46. Pricey enough, but I have to say, from what I am seeing here, this looks like a pretty cool kit. Next one. Next up, we've got some Macross announcements. First up is the HGVF 22S Sturmvogel 2. I thought this was out already. It might be the Sturmvogel 1. But if you need yourself a Sturmvogel, it is out in January at 4,730 yen, which is $32. Same price, but out in February is this right here. This is the high-grade VF 22S Sturmvogel 2. But apparently it's a different pilot. This is Maximilian Genius, I think it says. Again, kind of the same as the last one. Now, from here on out, I'm completely lost. I'm just mentioning these for the sake of in case you are interested in the particular kind of model kit. So this right here apparently is the Mecha Collection DX Type 1 Space Combat Attack Aircraft Cosmo Tiger. This is from Yamato Rebel 3199 apparently, and from what I can see, get two of them in the box. It's 1,870 yen on March. But that is not the only one. Also out in March for 1,870 yen is this one right here, which apparently is the Mecha Collection DX Prototype Space Combat Attack Aircraft. That's all I see here. I think it says Cosmo Python. Oh, which apparently is Cosmo Python. Once again, out in March. We've got one Kamen Rider announcement. This right here is the Figurized Standard Kamen Rider 01 Rising Hopper, apparently. I don't know much about this either, but that shade of, I don't know if that's a chartreuse or what, but that's a killer color. There's what comes in the box, there's a bit of an action pose, and the articulation, so that is out in January at about $29. From here on out, I'm just going to mention them real quick. We've got a horse girl, 3 Pokemon kits including Psyduck, a Jurassic turkey. I'm not sure if this is a new line, but it's 30-minute preference Hitori Goto from Bocchi the Rock. This is already sold out, by the way, so this is obviously popular. That is what she looks like, and she comes with a Les Paul and a pedal board. What's not to like? So this is $33. It's out in March, if you're lucky enough to get one, it seems. We've also got a bunch of awesome looking 30-minute missions, a lot of which we kind of seen before in different formats or another. Just to kind of blast through them really quickly, out in January is a full armor alto. Out in January, we've got ourselves a little bit of a flight pack, if you've ever wanted to Green Goblinify your 30-minute missions. Out in March is a Mecha Segway, I shit you not, a color variant of some option parts. In February, a white version of the Knight we would have seen before, color variant. Out in January, a color variant of the bike. By the way, you need to buy 2 of these if you want the full bike. As for the 30-minute missions, we've got some more announcement. These are weapons, so if you want to enhance your kits even further, then you can grab these. Here is spread number 1. You may have noticed that there is a Zimmerman inside of it, which is pretty cool. There's a little bit of an example of what you can do to your kits when you actually get these, so it's just a new loadout if you want to make customs, or just keep changing the weapons on your armored core, or even better still, make the mech you had in game. I will mention, however, there is only 2 mecha announced so far, so you'll have to make do with those. Anyway, this weapon set is 1,650 yen, is out in February, so that is about 1140. Also 1140 out in March is this weapon set right here. So once again, just a whole bunch of weaponry from the game to enhance your kits. There's an example of said kit enhanced. So next up, we've got some announcements of some 30-minute sisters. For the most part, it's a bunch of add-on parts, faces, hairs, stuff the likes of which you would have seen before, but of course, variants of what we would have seen before. The only 30-minute sisters kit that is actually new is this one right here with a little bit of a samurai demon aesthetic. So this right here is the 30-minute sisters Soul Ray. So that is what it looks like. It's got a katana, what looks like a really cool kind of Oni-ish armor section for up on the shoulder, but once again, I assume on the whole it's pretty much what we would have seen before. So this comes out in February, and the usual lowish price of $18. Next up, we've got a brand new 30-minute missions line. So this now is 30-minute fantasy. So I'm guessing these are meant to be like knights and whatnot, not giant mecha, just actual human-sized knights, to kind of fit the, well, I suppose the way anime is going these days towards a lot of the kind of swords and sorcery style shows. So the first one of these we have is the 30-minute fantasy Liber Priest. So I'm guessing this is a kind of a healer. It's in light colors. It's got some cloth parts to go with, well, they're not real cloth, they're plastic, but cloth-esque aspects to go with its armor. As usual, it's a bunch of armor parts that connect onto a core inside, which does look like a kind of androidy guy. And that right there is the full spread you get inside of the box. This is exciting. I think this is cool. Definitely going to be seeing some Souls-like customs of these kits. This would cost you about $15. It's $14.86 I'm seeing here from HobbyLink Japan in Euro, and this is out in January. So next up in here is the color variant. This right here is the 30-minute fantasy Rosen Priest. So this is just the darker variant compared to it, with some subtle differences to the armor. A little bit spikier in some places, but it is the same kit, coming in at, as far as I can see, the exact same price, and it is out in February. New 30-minute kits don't tend to come out without some armor variants, so you can, well, it gives Bandai a reason to sell you 2 kits as opposed to just the one of each one. So this is the first set of armor. This is the class up armor. This being for the Liber or Riberu Priest version. So what can I say? He's gone from common loot to some epic loot. Honestly, looks pretty cool. This goes for both. We do have optional armor for both, which again does the same kind of thing. Level up style look. This is 770 yen, which is exceedingly cheap, but again, there isn't really a whole lot inside of a box. That is what you get. So you're looking at just over $5 to enhance your kit. We do have some archer variants as well. This is the good archer, the Liber archer, and this is the bad archer, the Rosen archer. So again, about $16, and these are out in March. Last up then, and probably one of the funnest aspects of the whole thing, actually I can see that the vast majority of these are sold out already as well. These are Gunpla-kun little keychains or charms. These are ridiculously cute. They're all pretty much the same for the, well, for the overall kind of product, and what you get is very cute versions of different mobile suits in the Gunpla-kun style, including Gundam Ariel down there. Anyway, I'll just go into Gunpla-kun. These cost 990 yen. So you're looking at about $7, a little less than $7. These are out in March and they are incredibly, incredibly cool. So yeah, they're just little charms, but who does not want a cute little Gundam charm? But yeah, that is pretty much it for all of the announcements. For the most part, it's a lot of kind of normal-ish things. Some things are fun, some things are new, but overall, for me, I found the most exciting thing is the Master Grade Vidar. That is really, really, really cool. It's one of the most badass looking mobile suits of all time. It's got pistols and swords. How edgelord can you get? It's black and blue. It's cool. But yeah, I love the Vidar. The Master Grade Gundam frame format is just so good, so hopefully it will be fantastic. I assume it will be, and hopefully it does pave the way for more Master Grade Gundam frames. Come on, Bandai, you know they will just sell out. Anyway, as usual, drop down there in the comments, what do you want to see? Or, well, what did you see that you are the most excited about? And even, just like I just said, even if Bandai was to make another one of these in another 3 or 4 months or so, what would you like to see? What do you think is missing? For me, I feel like it's due time we got some kind of new perfect grade. That would be nice to see. I'm not sure if any kind of upcoming events, Bandai-wise or Gundam-wise, or an anniversary is coming up or not, but we are really sadly hurting for a perfect grade of some kind. That is kind of what I was hoping to see this time around, but hey, we didn't get one. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. This video, as usual, is sponsored by Hobbylink Japan, so if you're looking for some of this stuff, link is down there in the description. Grab it while you can. And pre-ordering early is very, extremely, super important. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more Gundam and Gunpla news, and I'll see you next time.